Good evening, my name is Jose Severino from the Precinct Community Affairs. A few events coming up that will make beneficial to all. The 16th at the corner of Woodhaven, Jamaica, from 10 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's World Elderly Abuse Awareness. So we're going to set up a table there, and we're going to provide information to anyone walking by regarding to elderly abuse. I think it's usually forgotten that a lot of the victims, elderly victims, don't classify them or call the police. They keep it amongst each other in the family, but they forget that that's a crime. You know, restricting meals, anything possible would be considered abuse. That's a good day for awareness. Also, our community council precinct. It's the same day, the 16th, at 7 p.m. at the Richmond Hill Library. And on the 18th, we have a blood drive at the precinct from 12 to 6. Each pint of blood donated can save up to 3 lives. So we look forward to donating blood because it's another good cause. I was reading some stuff about numbers in the precinct, considering that there's conversations that say that precinct crime is up. Year to date, we're down almost 10%. With crime down in the Wellington precinct. So I know it's been a lot going on. High-profile cases that have been going on here in the confines of the Wellington precinct. Regards to shooting. Last night we had a homicide. Found a dead person in the park by the old railroad tracks, and it's just a lot of stuff going on that it's just every time you look, it comes back to the Wellington precinct. Unfortunately, most of it falls in Woodhaven. So I understand the frustrations, and you're probably wondering what's going on, but we have leads on most of these crimes. And I know it's just a bad wave right now. It's not just us. It's most of these shootings and shooting incidents and homicides are all citywide, so it's not just singled out to the Wellington precinct, but for some reason, they just love us, the media just loves us. So you hear more often about these cases.
Early in the afternoon, though, weren't they?
Which ones?
The 89th in Jamaica, or now I read on my phone, 85th in Jamaica. I think it was 3 in the afternoon.
No, it was not. It was around 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Oh, was that one?
That was Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah.
Saturday.
Somebody was shot on Jamaica on 85th Street?
89th Street. He ran down to 85th Street to get help. It's a long block, but he went down to 85th Street to get assistance.
Do they think it's, I've just been reading in the Post and on my phone, do they think it's related or?
Unsure, to be honest, because the victim's garage. So,
Oh,
you
so
know.
it's alive.
Oh, yes, the
And
victim's
he's uncooperative, so he knows. And then there was another one about the one that was in the park, that was beaten with a trim. That's, who knows what that one was. But then I saw something on Woodhaven Boulevard by the, in Atlanta.
Yes.
That was another shooting.
That was not going to happen anywhere in the city.
I know, and that was recent or weeks ago?
That was about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was 3 weeks ago.
That was 3 weeks ago. And it's another unfortunate event that happened. That was late in the early in the morning, around 4 o'clock in the morning. So as the place was shutting down for the day, that's when the incident happened. It was a nothing. When the person was shot and put in a vehicle towards Jamaica Hospital. Had a unit stop facing right into Jamaica Hospital. Not related. We just happened to run right there and catch the victim and get a donation and get the stuff we can say, oh, we have a possible victim. Because all of a sudden, people were rushing to the hospital, what's going on. So, and then when they get to the hospital, is when they're now on close company. So like, wow, it's all at one time.
Is that the port of call?
Yes, or outside of it.
What is?
I would just want to know, is crime related or is it just young people related? Just like it is all over the city of New York. You have no clues, right?
It's a combination of things. It's not, honestly, that could have happened anywhere in the city. It could have happened anywhere. It just happened to be that's the time when we started to fight against each other.
What is Central Command doing to help the 102nd Precinct with these spiking high-profile crimes?
We have, right now, we have shooting posts, and we
have help, outside help to be, visible and those locations where those crimes happen. We have an automatic shooting initiative. When the shooting happens, we'll be there for 24 hours, depending 24 to 72 hours. All over, foot posts or fixed posts. So the visibility of police being there is automatic. So
How do you address the fact that there are people walking around on the street that are just packing heat? I mean, it's not like these things are well planned and executed. These just tend to happen, events that happen. How do you guys address that?
we have a lot of units that handle these situations. Some of these cases are just pop out of nowhere. Like I said, some of these can happen anywhere. It's not like they say, all right, this individual is going to be driving by Atlantic Avenue, we're going to catch them. It can happen anywhere, anytime. And unfortunately, that's what's going on right now.
Well, look, it's 20-year-old guys are running around the driveway. That's the point that I make. I stop on Jamaica Avenue to get a container of milk, I'll be in the middle of a shootout at 9 o'clock at night.
Well, we definitely have a lot of outside units, and they're coming in to help us out.
That's what time it happened,
It's roughly 10 to 30.
Oh, it was? I want to know about the security cameras in Forest Park. About 2 weeks ago, we were walking right by Victory Field, and we noticed there was a security camera mounted on one of the light posts.
Okay.
And last weekend, we went walking, and that camera is gone. Do you know what's going on with the cameras that we were supposed to get?
They're still in the process of being installed. They're approved, I understand. The Assemblyman Mike Miller.
I can speak on that if you
Yeah.
want me to. So I'm the guy who's been working on the cameras along with Mike. I mean, in terms of the paperwork, I'll tell you what's going on behind the scenes. Mike's making the phone calls and calling who needs to call to get it in. So initially, it's a 6-stage process. The first stage, which was supposed to be the easy part, the small piece of paper that the person that you're giving the money to fills out, that took about 6 months to get back, because typically, and Jose could probably speak to this, the NYPD, when you give them money like this to put security cameras, gives it and places the, once you give them the money goes wherever high crime is, not necessarily where we want it. So they could have took the 250 grand that we gave them and put it in a high crime area, I don't know, in the Bronx, in Brooklyn. We had a fight back and forth to get this one piece of paper to initially put in the application, just to get the NYPD to agree to put them exactly in these specific locations within Forest Park. So once that headache was over, now you're actually beginning the process. So we had a 3-way approval. The assembly, we work there, it takes 2 minutes. Mike makes a call, we need these rushed, look what's happening. That was the easy part. The dormitory authority has their own separate review. The only good part was, because they're security cameras, there was no environmental review required. That's done. 2 weeks ago I got a call, it's at the Division of Budget, the governor has to give the green light. So our wonderful governor now, who we spoke to this past week, I emailed, you guys met Hirsch? You guys know Hirsch? You know Hirsch. Hirsch just started as the Queen's rep. So I emailed Hirsch, and he is getting back to me. I actually emailed him again this morning, and they already knew before I contacted them that you guys had found the body in Forest Park. So I expect to be getting very good news very shortly. And as soon as I do, you guys will know.
But do you know, were they just trying these cameras out? I mean, it's the same exact
No, that actually has nothing.
We have outside units that do investigative work in the park, and I can't even mention anything about that. But once the physical parking lot for the last 2 or 3 years, it's guaranteed that's going to stay within Forest Park. Because we're going to choose the location where we can move on. All we're waiting for is the approval, and we're waiting for it.
But there was one up there 2 weeks ago, and now it's gone.
No,
Because ironically, that would have been in the same exact spot where this article was.
Yeah, the random ones that go up, I couldn't even tell you that's TV, but I mean, in terms of the ones that are going to get permanently installed, that's what happens.
One last question.
You read about some gun triangulation technology, gunshot triangulation being tried in certain parts of the city. Where is it being tried, and when will it be all over the place?
it's just a matter of time. They put them up in locations where they have multiple shootings, like the high-end shootings. So, for example, East New York, I know the South Bronx is getting them. I'm not sure on all locations besides.
How's that working out?
I'm not sure. Not sure. But the technology's been around for many years, and that'll be another tool that we can usefully use.
It's more
we're,
useful than cameras, quite frankly.
That depends.
we're gonna, we have our open line of communication with Jose and 102 and the deputy inspector. Any information that we can share, we'll share with you right away. Especially if we're looking for someone, anyone wanted, any crimes that are happening. But I think, as always, the biggest thing we can do to help each other out is call 311 and 911. If anything looks suspicious, anything happens, just call right away. I mean, Jose says at every meeting, you know what, if you don't even want to call 311, you think it's an emergency, just call 911. It's fine, but let's get some kind of response out there. Let's try and help each other out as much as we can and keep that data and share it with us so that we know exactly where is it that you're seeing things, just in case we're missing